Hi, my name's Terry, and welcome to my channel. This is the Yarnjoy podcast, episode number 2. Thank you so much for coming and stopping by to see what I've been doing. If this is your first time here, I welcome you, and I ask you to subscribe to my channel. And if you've been seeing my videos before, I'm glad you came back. I'm going to be looking off to the side because my notes are over here. But today, I want to talk about, I have some finished objects. I have some works in progress. I also have a favorite pattern that I would like to talk about. And I also have a couple of shout outs. So let's get started. Okay, my finished object. I finished the little baby unicorn that I was working on last week. The pattern is a free pattern on Ravelry, and the designer is Rachel Ho. And here he is. I use Red Heart Super Saver, except for the mane. The mane is Karen Simply Soft in the Rainbow Bright colorway. This is Shocking Pink, I believe, and just white in Red Heart Super Saver. And there's his little tail. I haven't decided on the mane and the tail. I mean, the mane, it's pretty long, and so I don't know. I may trim it just a little bit. Anyway, he will set up. Yeah. Oh, one thing about it though, when you stitch the legs on, I stitched them on where they were still kind of floppy, more like a beanbag, beanie baby type toy, and that doesn't work. He doesn't sit up well. His head is pretty top heavy, so you need to make sure that when you stitch the legs on, that you need to stitch them where they're pretty close together and firm, and then he will sit up. So there he is. Okay, and my next finished object. Last week I showed you that I showed you a baby blanket that I was doing. This is a Mary Maxim pattern. It was actually a kit, and here it is, the pattern. And it came with a variegated yarn, if you can see in the picture. But I did it, and I did do it with this yarn, but this is actually the second time I've done this blanket, and I decided that I wanted to do it in a solid color, so that way it would show up the pattern of the blanket better. Now, I don't know if you'll be able to see it very well, but I did finish it just yesterday, so there's some ends that I haven't woven in yet, but here it is. I used Bernat Softy Baby in pink. It hasn't been blocked yet, as you can see, but once I block it, that's usually when I block it, that's when I take care of the loose ends. And once I block it, I'll take a picture of it lying flat, and then I'll show you the picture at a later time, so that way you can get a better idea of what it looks like. Okay, and my third finished object I just want to show you is something I did a while back, but I thought it turned out really cute. It's a corner-to-corner blanket that I did for a little girl in our church. And here, I have a picture. It's on my laptop, so bear with me. I'll just try to show it to you. Can you see it? Maybe. It's Elsa from Frozen. She was crazy about Frozen at the time, so I made this blanket. And what I did, I went onto Pinterest, and I found what they call a perler bead graph, and I found it for the face, the middle area, and then I found the lettering, and I graphed it out on some graph paper, like pixels, you know, little squares, and each square would be a block of 3 double crochets. And then down the bottom, I just found a pattern for some snowflakes, and I did the same thing. And I just started adding on sections until it was a good width and length that I was wanting. Okay, so now I have my works in progress that I'm working on. Last week I showed you that I was working on a mermaid blanket, and I'm still working on that. Let me find where, oh, here it is. Okay, so last week I had only gone from here all the way down to where the pin is. See, it's quite long. I mean, wide. But that's as far down as I've got. I've got to go quite a bit distance more down, and then I'll start doing it in the round to make the mermaid tail. I'm using Simply Soft, Karen Simply Soft yarn, because it's got kind of a shine to it, and I thought that would be good since it's supposed to be oceany and shimmery, you know. So it doesn't have any sparkles in it, but you know how Simply Soft has a shine to it. The colors I'm using are, it's peacock feather. I don't know if you can see there. There you go. See, it's got some green in it. It's not all blue. It's green and aqua. And then one called Pagoda. Looks blue, I'm sorry. It's a teal. It's a teal color. And then Limelight, which is like a neon green, which is showing kind of pastel here, but you have to take my word for it. So that I'm working on that one. I'm also still working on I was telling you last week that I belong to a Facebook group called Stitch Your Library, and it's not just crochet, it's loom knit, knitting, crocheting, whatever it is, that particular craft that you do. I think a lot of us on there are crocheters, but you know, you don't have to crochet to be part of the group. But what we do is kind of encourage each other to use patterns and things that are in our yarn stash or yarn library that we have already, instead of continually buying new patterns, and then you have these pattern books that you have never touched and you haven't worked anything out of them. And so this is a magazine that I've had a long time. It is the Crochet Today magazine, and it's April 2013 issue, and the pattern in here is called the He Loves Me blanket. Okay, I'm using this pattern, but I changed up the colors, and I'm using yarn out of my stash. Last week I showed you that I only had 2 squares done. What's good about this is it's a join as you go pattern, and that makes it really easy to put together. I've got 6 squares now. Each square is about 7 inches long, and so across, if you do 5 across, that'll give you 35 inches. Which would be like a baby blanket size. I mean, there's a border you can put around it, and that would get it a little bit wider. But what I may do, because if I do 5 across and 5 or 6 down, that'd be 25 to 30 squares of these total. And I don't know, I may run out of yarn before then. But what I may do is a technique that I do a lot. If I need to enlarge blankets, I will find some borders or things to, you know, to enlarge, go around the whole entire thing to make it larger, put more sections in it. Okay, so that is my next work in progress. And then the next 2 are small projects. I thought that way I'd have some finished objects that would finish up quicker, you know, quickly, have things to show you. I'm working on, this is also qualifies for the Stitch Your Library group, because it's a baby hat book that I've had for quite a while. Let me see if I can get the glare off of it. It is a leisure arts book, and it's by Anastasia Cruz, and it's just called Baby Hats. Quick and stylish hats in sizes 3 to 12 months, and you use worsted weight yarn, which is what I have a lot. I have baby yarn in my stash, but I have quite a bit of worsted weight as well. And the one I'm working on right now, I've just barely started it, is this one right here. It's a little cloche for a little girl, and it's got a little flower with a flipped up brim. Okay, so I don't have a whole lot to show you, but except I show you the colors that I picked out. More yarn out of my stash. This is a green that I picked. I think it's like it's a medium green. It's like a meadow, or I don't remember the name of the color, sorry. So I'm going to do it for the main color. And then for the flower, I'm going to do this orange. I think this might be a Vanna's Choice orange, pumpkin or something. I'm not sure. There it is. And see, I think it's going to be a good combination. The baby, it would be 3 months. And so if the baby is born in the summer, then, you know, by the winter when they would need a warm hat, then the baby would be about that age. And what's good about this pattern is that in the pattern, as far as the instructions in the gauge, when you do I believe it says to do a gauge swatch. You just do the first 3 rounds, which is a circle, and then you measure the diameter of the circle, and it has to be a certain size. Like this one, I believe it had to be 9 centimeters across, which is like 3 3/4 inches. And so what I did is I did the circle. This string right here is just telling me that this is the right side of the project. Anyway, I did the circle, and then I measured it across, and it was too small for the hook size. I think it called for an H hook, I think, and it was too small. And so I ripped it out, and I used an I hook, and I did the 3 rounds again, and it turned out perfect. The gauge is perfect. So hopefully it will be the right size in the end. For some reason, that's one of my things that I don't have a whole lot of luck with at times is the sizing. I don't know if my gauge changes, or what the deal is. I'm not sure, but I'm hoping that this gauge on there and me actually following it and measuring instead of just going by the hook size, because I had to go up a hook size, that would help with the fitting, the sizing of it. Okay, and so the next work in progress, it's not really a work in progress because I haven't started on it yet. I've picked out the yarn. So what I want to do is something new. I kind of enjoyed making the unicorn, and so I've never really been that confident as far as doing amigurumi because of stitching the pieces together. I'd stitch the pieces together and stitch the faces on, and then it just seems like that it didn't turn out near as cute as what the picture shows. And so I'm going to continue to work at it. And so what I thought I'd do is, if you look on YouTube, there's quite a bit of patterns, tutorials on YouTube. And so I found this pattern. Let me bring it up right quick on my laptop here so you can see it if I can grab it, the right picture here. There. Okay. So I found this little crocheted, and it's what it is. It's a little baby giraffe. I don't know if you can see it. Yeah. I thought it was so cute. And I have the yellow and the brown yarn already. So I'm going to try my hand at this and see how it turns out. And there's so many different people that are doing the amigurumi tutorials. So what I thought I'd do is make a list of all the different YouTubers that make tutorials for amigurumi, and I'm going to try them out and see, kind of give my review on how it works out, you know, if it was an easy pattern for me, or if it might be something that maybe I'm not good at it. I'll find out. But anyway, this is so cute, and I thought I just have to try it and see how it works out. The name of this the pattern you can find, the channel name is called Suwana's Crafts Room. That's where I found this tutorial. And she has some wonderful dolls and animals and all these different little projects that she does tutorials on, and they turn out so cute. And so I'm really anxious to do that, and I'll let you know how it goes. Oh, but I will show you the yarn. Sorry. This is the yellow, and I believe this yellow, it's not a bright yellow, you know, it's more like almost like a pastel, I guess. But what it is I believe it's the Karen baby, but it's a size 4 worsted weight, but it's these are Karen 1 pounder. So I'm going to use that for the yellow, and I just have some basic white that I'm going to use, and some brown for the spots. So I'll get started on that this week, and we'll see how that goes. Okay, so the next thing I want to talk about is favorite patterns. I thought maybe this might be something that everybody might benefit from, and we could help each other out. I like to have different go-to patterns that I like the way they turn out. I never have to worry about them turning out bad or anything, you know. I mean, it's just like, it's easy for me, and it just works with my skills. And I get good result. The results are good, and people really seem to like it when I give them as gifts. And one of the patterns is an Afghan pattern, and I've done this 3 different times actually. 2 of them for wedding gifts, and one of them I did for an auction at our church, and that went over really well. So what it is a Mary Maxime kit, or it was. You might be able to get the pattern without buying a kit, but I figured that, you know, I would just do it with the yarn it comes with, you know, the first time, and then I have the pattern later to be able to redo it again. So this is the pattern. It's called the Annie's Lace Throw. I can't remember how much it was, but it wasn't too terrible bad since, you know, you got a lot of yarn with it. In fact, I think I had maybe a skein of yarn left over that I didn't use. And the yarn that comes with is Caron Simply Soft. So you just pick which color. I believe the color that I did for that one was pistachio is the one I picked, which is a green. And then I did it again in a more neutral color. I believe it was called Bone, which it was a light tan, I guess. And then I also did it again, the 3rd time, for another wedding gift, and it was another green, but it wasn't the pistachio. It was more of a, I don't know what it was called. I can't remember what it was called, meadow or sage or something like that. Kind of a country-ish looking green, I suppose. Let's see. I believe I have a picture of it, if I can find it right quick. There it is. Okay, so this is a picture of the one that I did in Bone. I'm hoping that you can see it well. Oh, nope, there's a glare. Sorry. It's about as best I can get. But anyway, I really like making this pattern. Like I said, I've made it 3 times. And it's just a great go-to pattern, I guess you'd say. It makes a throw. It's not huge. It's not like to fit a bed or anything. But it just is something that everybody seems to really like, the people that I do it for. So next time I'll show you other things. I have favorite baby blankets that I like to do, and favorite things to use my scraps for. But anyway, maybe we could all share our favorite go-to patterns that we like to use that maybe would be helpful to other people when they're trying to pick a pattern for a project. Okay, and then so I have 2 shout outs today that I want to talk about. These are podcasts that I've been watching and I've been really enjoying them. The first one is Jada, and the name of her channel is Jada in Stitches. And I believe she's from Canada, and she is so funny. I mean, she has such a bubbly personality. It's just so fun to watch her videos. Just puts you in a good mood, makes you smile. She has crochet patterns, and the patterns are not difficult patterns. They're more geared toward beginners or medium advanced beginners, you know, or just, I mean, really, I mean, everybody wants to find simple projects that you can whip up really quickly. And so her projects are so fun. And right now she's doing a 12-month calendar blanket. So each month she does a square, almost like a granny square type square. And so for each month it's based on the holiday or something happening in that month. So such as like in January she did a snowman square. And then in February it was geared toward Valentine's Day. And then I know for St. Patrick's Day she had one that was a St. Patrick's, like a leprechaun hat in the square. Right now for June she's doing a sun. And it's kind of the logo of her channel. She has an amigurumi sun that's got a big smiley face on it. It's really cute. So check out her channel sometime. I think you might enjoy watching it. And the other person I wanted to give a shout out to is Danny, and the name of her channel is Danny S. Hi, Danny. She's a new YouTuber, but I've really been enjoying her videos. She mainly knits, but she does crochet as well. And I met Danny on the Facebook Stitch Your Library group. And she, like I said, she's a new YouTuber. She just has a few videos out. And she does a section every Saturday called Saturday Stitching. And she shows what she's been working on for that week. And she's got a very interesting schedule, how she schedules out what to work on to make sure she gets work done on several projects through the week. You might be able to check that out and use that in a way to inspire your own projects as far as getting things done. Anyway, check out these ladies' channels and see what you think about them. I guess that's all for today or this week. Please come back next week and I'll show you how I turned out with these whips that I'm doing right now. And I appreciate so much the ones that have subscribed to me and showed me some love. I know that I'm still kind of nervous with these videos, but slowly but surely I think I'm figuring out everything, maybe. So anyway, talk to you later. Bye.